I thought I was being a good husband, surprising her with lunch, just a small act of love. But the moment I stepped into our home that Wednesday afternoon, everything I believed shattered. Her laughter, his voice, and a betrayal so deep, it turned me into someone I never thought I'd become. Welcome to Infidelity Truths. Before we dive into today's gripping story, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more thrilling stories just for you. Let's begin. One mistake. I remember the exact moment my world shifted. Funny how certain memories etch themselves into your bones, the ones that gut you like a blade and never let go. It was a Thursday. I'd taken the afternoon off work, just a mild cold, nothing serious, and decided to surprise my wife, Amara. We'd been married 9 years. She worked remotely, editing articles for some high-end wellness magazine. I thought I'd do something thoughtful. Grab her favorite salad from that vegan cafe she loved, swing by, kiss her cheek, be the doting husband. But when I pulled into the driveway, something didn't sit right. The blinds in our upstairs bedroom were drawn. Amara hated closed blinds in the daytime. Sunlight's my productivity fuel, she'd always say. But now, at 1:45 in the afternoon, our room was cloaked in shadow. I unlocked the front door silently. Too silently. That's when I heard it. A man's voice, low, relaxed. Then Amara's laugh, that soft, airy giggle I used to chase just to hear. And a hushed, "We shouldn't be doing this." The paper bag in my hand slipped. Quinoa salad and ginger tea crashed to the floor like a cruel metaphor for what I was about to walk into. I don't remember walking up the stairs. My body just moved. My heart thundered like a war drum. Every instinct screamed, "Don't open that door." But I did. What I saw inside was like a scene from someone else's life, not mine. Amara, wrapped in our sheets, her dark hair messy, her eyes wide and terrified. The man, a tall, broad-shouldered stranger, scrambled for his jeans like a guilty teenager. Pathetic. She clutched the blanket to her chest. "Kai, wait. It's not what it looks like." My name sounded alien coming from her mouth. I stared. Not what it looks like? My voice sounded hollow, like it was coming from a tunnel far away. Tears welled up in her eyes. It it was a mistake. One stupid mistake. I said nothing, just turned around and walked out. I didn't know where I was going, only that I couldn't be in that house another second. I crashed at my cousin Malik's apartment that night. He's blunt, no nonsense. "You need to walk away, man," he said after hearing everything. "Don't let her spin it. She made her choice." But it wasn't that simple, was it? 9 years of marriage doesn't dissolve overnight. Love doesn't just evaporate, no matter how hard you wish it would. The next morning, I returned home. Amara sat at the kitchen table, eyes red, nose raw from crying. She'd made coffee, like that fixed anything. "I'm so sorry, Kai," she whispered. "It didn't mean anything. I'll do anything to make it right." She looked fragile, broken. Part of me, some deep, bitter part, wanted to believe her. So I lied. I said, "Okay." I told her we could work on it, that I wanted to fix things, that forgiveness was possible. She believed me. We went to therapy. She wept. I listened. The therapist said I was stronger than most men. Strong? Number patient? Yes. Because while she confessed and clung to hope, I was planning. The first thing I did was hire a divorce attorney, one of the best in the city. Luckily, our state still recognized fault-based divorces. I dug, and I found. His name was Devin Masters. He worked in creative strategy at some mid-sized ad agency. Married, 2 kids, real family man. I gathered it all, texts I found while she slept, late-night call logs, emails where she said she was suffocating in a lifeless marriage. That one cut deep. Once I had everything, I wrote a note. Just a few lines. "Amara, you were right. It was one mistake. But it's the one that cost you everything." I left it on her pillow. Then I waited until a Friday night. She claimed she was going to a friend's game night. I packed up the things that mattered. Clothes, my grandfather's wristwatch, my hard drive. Everything else could rot. I erased every photo of us from the walls. Then I cleared out our joint savings account, the one I'd contributed 90% of, and moved the funds to a private account in my name. My lawyer confirmed it was within my rights given the infidelity, but the real masterpiece? I emailed Devin's wife, attached screenshots of his and Amara's messages. Subject: You deserve to know. Body: I thought you should see what your husband's been doing. I blocked Amara's number before I walked out the door. By the time she came home and saw the empty walls, the stripped closet, the note, it was too late. The fallout? Magnificent. She showed up at Malik's place 2 days later, sobbing. I can't believe you did this, she cried. You just walked away. I didn't walk away, I told her. You did. I just followed the path you made. But it was just one mistake. One mistake, and I said, oh, that cost you everything. She had no comeback. I got the house in the divorce. Devin lost his job when his wife sent the evidence to his HR department. Company had a strict conduct clause. Amara ended up in a cramped studio apartment near downtown. I heard she tried dating again. Small town, people talk. Let's just say her reputation didn't help. Me? I started over. It hurt. God, it hurt, but it felt damn good to rebuild. On my terms, with my dignity. They say revenge doesn't bring peace. I disagree. A year later, I bumped into Amara at the grocery store. She looked older, tired, like life had finally caught up to her. Hi, Kai, she said softly. I nodded. Amara. She hesitated, then said, I still think about you. About everything. I'm sorry. I looked into her eyes and felt nothing. No rage, no regret, just peace. I hope you learned from it, I said, and I walked away. She stood frozen, holding a box of granola bars like they were the only thing tethering her to reality. Some mistakes, they're final. It had been almost 15 months since I walked out of that house, our house, for the last time. 15 months since I left the note on her pillow, packed my things, and shut the door on 9 years of lies. I wasn't the same man anymore. I moved to a new town, took a new job in a marketing firm 2 hours south, started waking up early just to watch the sunrise from my balcony. There's something cleansing about quiet mornings when no one expects anything from you. I wasn't looking for love. I didn't trust it. Not yet. But I was finally breathing again. Until one day, Malik called me. Yo, you're not going to believe who asked about you. I didn't have to ask. I already knew. Amara? I said without emotion. Yeah, he muttered. She showed up at Mom's church. Said she wanted to talk to you. Apologize. Closure or something. Closure. Funny word, coming from the woman who blew my life apart. I ignored it. 2 weeks later, she emailed me. No subject line. Just, Kai, I know I have no right to reach out, but I've changed. I've been in therapy. I think about what I did every day. If you ever feel like talking, I'll be at Gino's Cafe every Sunday at 2 p.m. No pressure, no expectations. Amara. I stared at it for a long time, then deleted it. But Sunday came, and curiosity got the better of me. I didn't go inside. I parked across the street, just out of view, watched through the cafe window. She was there, alone, a cup of coffee in her hands, untouched. She looked tired, like she hadn't slept in weeks. Her hair was darker now, shorter. Her shoulders slumped. The confidence she used to carry like a crown was gone. I sat in my car for 15 minutes. Then I drove away. That should have been the end of it. But life has a way of dragging out unfinished business. One evening, out of nowhere, I ran into her again. This time, not in a grocery aisle, but at an alumni fundraiser for the university we both attended. I had been invited by a former professor. I almost didn't go. I saw her before she saw me. She stood near the back, dressed in black slacks and a plain blouse. No makeup, just Amara, stripped of pretense. When our eyes met, she froze. I didn't look away. After a long silence, she walked up to me. Kai. Amara. She swallowed hard. Thank you for not turning away. I shrugged. Didn't see the point. Her voice was quiet. You were right, about everything. I thought I'd lost a marriage. I didn't realize I'd lost you. I said nothing. I've spent a year punishing myself. I wake up some nights thinking you're still beside me, then realize it's just a dream. And her voice cracked. I ruined the best thing I ever had. I waited for the guilt to rise again, but it didn't. Not anymore. You didn't just ruin what we had, I said. You ruined who I was inside that marriage. And I had to leave to find him again. She blinked fast, but the tears came anyway. Do you think maybe one day you could forgive me? I looked at her. Not as my wife. Not as the woman who broke me, just a person. Flawed. Lost. I already have, I said. But forgiveness doesn't mean I want you back. She nodded. I figured. I just needed to hear it. Then came the part I didn't expect. I'm leaving town, she said. Starting fresh, somewhere no one knows me. I just wanted to say goodbye. Goodbye. That word hung in the air like a final breath. We stood there for a moment. Two people who once shared everything. Now strangers bound only by memory. She walked away first, and I let her go, for real this time. I'm sitting on my porch now. There's someone new beside me. Her name is Talia. We met at a bookstore after we both reached for the same novel. No fireworks, just warmth. Honesty. She doesn't ask about my past, and I don't feel the need to explain. We build slowly. No lies, no secrets. Just two people who know what it's like to be hurt, and to choose healing anyway. Some mistakes really can't be undone. But peace? Peace is possible. 2 years had passed. By now, Talia and I had moved into a modest house on the outskirts of the city. Not lavish, but ours. She taught art at a local school and spent weekends painting on the balcony. I loved watching her get lost in color. It was the opposite of what I used to have. No drama, no betrayal, just peace. But peace has a fragile heartbeat. One morning, I opened my email and froze. Subject, just 1 minute of your time. From Amar, I hadn't heard from her in over a year. Last I knew, she had moved to Seattle. Started over like she said she would. I stared at the screen, debating whether to delete it without reading. But curiosity is a powerful drug. Kai, I promise I'm not here to dig up the past. I'm writing because I need to say something in person. It won't take long, and I swear I'll leave it at that. I've been sober now for 11 months. Therapy helped, but something's still missing, and it's not you. It's the truth. 1 minute. That's all I'm asking. Amara, I should have ignored it. But I agreed. We met in a public park, neutral ground. I saw her sitting under the gazebo, nervously twisting a pendant around her neck. She stood when she saw me. Hi, she said. I gave a nod. Hi. I don't expect anything. I know I hurt you. Destroyed what we had. But I needed you to hear this from me. I said nothing. Just waited. Amara looked down, took a breath. The day you walked out, it wasn't just the end of our marriage. It was the beginning of who I really was. For years, I blamed boredom, loneliness. But the truth is, I was afraid. Afraid you'd wake up and realize I wasn't enough. I finally spoke. So you made sure I wouldn't get the chance. She winced but nodded. Yeah, I sabotaged it before you could. We stood in silence for a long time. She continued. I wanted you to know I'm not asking for another chance. I know you've moved on. I've seen pictures. Talia's beautiful. That caught me off guard. I'm not stalking you, she added quickly. I just came across your bookstore's page. Saw you two in one of the posts. Ah, right. Talia and I had opened a small bookstore cafe. Our quiet dream. Simple. Real. I'm happy for you, Kai, she said, smiling sadly. Really? I just needed to say sorry again. Not to be forgiven, but so I could forgive myself. I looked at her then. Really looked. She was still beautiful in that haunted, quiet way. But she looked older, like life had finally made her pay every cent of the debt she'd racked up with her choices. I hope you find peace, Amara, I said softly. She nodded. I think I'm getting there, one day at a time. She turned to walk away, then paused. By the way, I kept one photo of us from that trip to Charleston, the one where we were laughing at the beach. I didn't keep it because I miss you. I kept it to remind myself who I almost was before I broke everything. And just like that, she was gone. I stood in the quiet for a moment before heading back to my car. Talia was curled up on the couch reading when I walked in. She looked up and smiled. You okay? She asked, noticing the look on my face. I sat beside her, pulled her close. Yeah, just came from a ghost of the past. She didn't push. She never did. I kissed her forehead. Thanks for making this house feel like home. She smiled. Thanks for letting me. I realized then that closure wasn't about revenge. It wasn't even about answers. Closure is waking up one day and realizing your heart no longer trembles when you hear their name. It's sipping coffee with the right person and knowing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Final. Some mistakes break things, but some reveal what was never strong enough to last. And when the dust finally settles, what's left is something unshakable. Thank you, my amazing subscribers. Wow, what a journey. If you've made it to the end of this story, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Your support means everything to me. Every time you watch, like, and comment, you're helping keep this channel alive and growing. And trust me, the best is yet to come. I see all your comments. I feel your love, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Your thoughts and feedback inspire me to create even more powerful stories. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. More shocking twists, emotional journeys, and real-life lessons are on the way, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Together, we're building an incredible community, and I'm so grateful to have you on this journey with me. Stay strong, stay inspired, and remember, sometimes life's greatest lessons come from the most unexpected moments. See you in the next story.